But first of all, I just want to reinforce, even after my love of football, I love being in this region. I love being in America. It's just the passion, the energy, the innovation, creativity. It's just really wonderful to be here. So I want to thank you for your time and spending time with Lusma and myself this evening. So I think we just want to open it up in general to questions and also feedback.
Hi, I'm Pablo from Buenos Aires. Well, I wish to talk about this strategy about digital marketing because we are seeing that this digital world is different from the actual world. For example, we have the fake news. So when we measure, as you said, we measure data, but data is different from reality. You probably have some users that are bots, so you have a very huge success on Twitter, but it's just a fake. So what is your strategy to bring this digital world with the actual world?
So I think it's a very good question, and there's a couple of thoughts that I had there. First of all, we need to think more about the experience that we're creating for our customers when they're on their digital journey. And so it's no longer about sales, marketing, services. It is much more around what happens to the customer experience digitally and when they engage with a human. And if you think about your consumer, okay, I know you all do online shopping. You can't lie. And I know that for myself is that when I'm doing my searching and I'm comparing prices and I'm checking out how many stars they have in terms of customer reviews, is that typically when I need to talk to a human being, it's because something's gone wrong, right? And it doesn't feel good. So we have to think about the digital engagement and the human engagement. And we have to think about what is that experience along every single step of that customer's journey and how we as Cisco touch them in a digital or a human way. I think the second part of your question, I think I heard, is that I am a strong believer, I hope you got this from my presentation, is that technology is key to the transformation of marketing. Totally key. And we have built out a marketing technology platform and stack that allows me to do things and scale in a way I could never have done just with marketing professionals. There is a risk to the technology, and you mentioned chatbots, is that you have to be careful. I'm on the board of the Association of National Advertisers, which it's global, but it's very heavy US focused. And what we do is a trade association. The CMO of Unilever and Shell and Ford are on this board. And we are putting a lot of pressure on Facebook, Google, and by the way, the next will be Walmart, those big digital engines that we pay for them to engage and to bring us traffic. And so they have been very open and very receptive about they need to handle fraud. I want to know when someone comes to Cisco.com, it's a human and not a chat box. It's not, someone sitting in a foreign country and sending that I'm paying for. I'm paying for that traffic. So they are really on top of this. I give them a lot of credit. It's their business. It's their business model at stake. So they are taking this very seriously, and both for fraud and also privacy as well. And so we have ways to go with them, but they're making really, really good progress. Yes?
Yeah, Fernando Reyes from Mexico. Resellers and integrators are used to speak with clients about technology and about business. How can marketing help them to make better deals, better projects, and how can they integrate the speech of marketing in their relationship with the clients?
So this is directed at our partners. So I think I just lost mine. I lost my headset. I was so excited. So we are very blessed as a company because partners help us scale, not just only from a selling standpoint, but also from a marketing standpoint. And so Cisco is unique because we are the only company that helps our partners be better marketers. So what we do is that there's a couple of things, and I also have Michelle jump in as well in case I miss something. Is what we do, first of all, we help train and grow their marketing team. And so we have a program called Marketing Velocity, which is actually here this week at Cisco Live. And we have the lead marketers from our partners come in, and we share with them our best practices. They share with each other the best practices. We bring in key industry speakers around what is contemporary marketing, what is new, what is different, what skills do they need to learn. And so we have built a whole curriculum to help them be better marketing professionals. The second thing that we do is that when we tell our customer stories, if there is a partner, like in the brand campaign, if there is a partner involved in developing that solution, we talk about them too. That is very unusual for a brand as big as Cisco to share the limelight with a partner. So the last set of partners we talked about was at our partner summit, where Local Measure, 2 partners, Local Measure, Outcome-X, they weren't big partners. They were relatively small partners, but they have put together a solution that transformed the customer experience to visitors to the Sydney Opera House. So we told the world about that story. So that is something that we do together. And then the other thing that we do is every single thing we create for a campaign, whether it's a video, whatever it is, we package it up and we give it to our partners. So if they want to put it in their campaign with their logo, we've saved them time and money by giving them those assets as well. What we're also doing, and Michelle, do you want to talk a little bit about where we're headed and some of the digital services and sharing some customer data, that we're packaging that up for them as well?
For sure. Here we have Cynthia. She's only been marketing for Americas.
Great. Hi, everyone. So just to add on what Karen said, in addition to helping our partners deliver our marketing through their platforms, we are also looking at ways to do it in a more streamlined, seamless way. So as Karen talked about, this notion of the customer experience, because we are so reliant on our partners to translate from finding an opportunity to closing an opportunity, we need to be very conscious of how our customers experience Cisco and our partners online. So if a customer goes to Cisco.com and starts searching some of the good stuff that John and Karen talked about today, we've got to make sure we make that connection point and handoff from Cisco.com directly to the partner's website. So what we have is a tool on Cisco.com called Partner Locator. And in all of our marketing campaigns, one of our calls to action is to find a Cisco partner, go here. And what we're going to be doing future state, which will be differentiated across the industry, is we're going to create that handoff. So when our customers are experiencing Cisco and our customers are experiencing our partners, they have one experience. And we're going to do this virtually by investing in technology. It'll be cloud-based. It'll enable us to make that connection for our customers without them having to do it on their own. This is where we're headed in the future.
And if I can add a number behind what Karen just mentioned. She mentioned marketing velocity process. She has 22 years at Cisco Live for over 2 years from the partners that are participating as sponsors here at the event. And we've got more than 60 marketers from our partners. that we enable them in all the top technologies as Karen mentioned: digital, social selling, data insights, and data analytics. So those were the 4 key topics that we mentioned yesterday. So 65 partners were yesterday as part of that enablement program that we have, and it's not only an event. It's a platform that we deliver to them online, and we update every single day. It's not only one event that you forget about and then go to another country. So it's a digital platform that we have all the content, suggestions, keynote speakers, trends, marketing trends, and everything in that marketing velocity.
Okay, can I add some other question? In this event with the marketers, did you tell them how much can they increase their sales by adding marketing to their project?
So, go ahead. We share with them. We share. The response is yes. We share with them our top performers campaigns and the way that we just measure and the return of investment that we got. So showing them our results is the way that we can give them some guidance of how that they should be doing.
Okay.
And we are also enablement in some part of technologies. So yes, we are showing them how we get a better return.
Okay.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm sorry. You first. I'm Miriam. Hello. Yeah, I'm sorry. I would like to know what is your budget for the security program that you can sell?
I can't share that with you. Primarily because if I share that with you about what I'm spending on security, then the collaboration team will want to know how much I'm spending on collaboration. They'll always argue. I would say we are pretty. I just want to fireworks. That's okay. But we are. The journey that we've been on is that we have become much more of an accountable function. And so what I have to do is I have to make sure that for every dollar I put in, I'm very clear about what I get out. And because move my hands too much, it's because we have digitized everything. We can use tools to show real time how a brand is performing. In Australia, I can see real time what is our engagement scores based upon the campaign, how well is the campaign engaging, and is it good or not good? If it's not good, I'll take my money out of the security campaign and I'll put it into the networking campaign. So I can make those changes real time based upon how well something is performing. And I can also show the general manager of Australia, he'll say, marketing's not creating any demand, any pipeline for you. I'll show you. And I can show them real time down to the account manager in Adelaide, what are the leads that are sitting in their queue, how big they are, how long they have been waiting for a response. So for me, we have become more accountable because what I have to be able to show to my CEO is that their marketing investment is giving them scale and giving them a coverage model where marketing is leading the sale. And especially in the digital world, marketing can lead the customer's journey and that purchase process through multiple steps to a point where something is just so qualified, they just want to buy something. They'll raise their hand and say, I'm ready to buy. Then I will guarantee I will be in contact with you within 15 minutes. So I have to show that accountability, and I have to show not just the accountability, but predictability. That if the company invests $1 in marketing, this is what their return is. And the reason I do that is I want more money. I want more investment in marketing. And as Cisco shifts our business model from being more of a hardware company to a software and SaaS business model, that's typically where a company will spend more in marketing because we're doing more of the work because it tends to be more of a digital business. The software SaaS business tends to be done more online.
We had a question.
Carlos Davila from ABC in Latin America.
Hi, Paula.
Very good presentation.
Oh,
I mean, it was mentioned that for the multi-cloud of the world, it was needed a new approach, a different architecture, which would mean having security around and between the network and users, devices, application, and data. What is Cisco doing in terms of the strategy and the marketing strategy, perhaps a go-to-market strategy, to attract a different profile of partners that might have a different expertise beyond the network? Maybe application security, data security, mobile security, cloud security. What are the strategies that you are working on? And if you could add some regional color to that answer, that would be great.
Okay, so maybe you can give me some great local examples, but it's a very good question. You heard John say that he gave you a little bit of the History Channel as well as the Discovery Channel, but the History Channel was, we started as a networking company and we went into different spaces that were natural and adjacent to the network, like collaboration. But you also heard us both say that security is foundational. It has to be embedded in everything. And so that for us is a tremendous differentiator. We have also been on the journey to really work with our partners to bring them along on this journey with us. And so we have found our partners being very open and very willing to get into security, to collaboration, to these other businesses with us, and they've been very successful as well. I will also tell you, some of our partners are further ahead than Cisco. Because some of our partners have lived in the software and the SaaS world longer than we have. And so, those partners are teaching us, and we're fully embracing them and bringing them along. So we are totally committed. We just had our partner summit in Vegas in November, and we are totally committed to continuing our strategy. It's worked so well for Cisco over 30 plus years, where partners, 86% of our business goes from partners, 86%. So we know that we need to do things together with partners. As far as any examples in that?
Maybe adding into that, and as Karen mentioned, part of the enablement, not only on security, but maybe other new architectures or the new way of doing business with the partners. So I would say we do have two strategies in the region. The one is grow our own partners and enable them with new technologies, and the other one is go and capture new ecosystem partners that can give us the value that we don't have, even in some countries in the region. So those are our two main strategies. I can share numbers from Mexico, but definitely what I can do is, really we can share the number of how many partners have been in the process of enable them on the new technologies and the other ones that we are capturing as the ecosystem partners. So I can definitely share.
We can give you some hard proof points if that helps you your story, but it's definitely a big part of our strategy in our past, and it will be a big part of our strategy for our future.
Hi, Diego Araceli from IDC.
Hello.
Congratulations on your presentation. I don't think that you highlighted in your message is SD1. And we see, as an IDC, we see SD1 something that going through the first stages in Latin America. So I was wondering, what do you see the main use cases and which are the main capabilities that partners should have to help customers, go over that bridge that you mentioned?
So it's a great question. And so what we have done in the research that we have done, actually with your help, is IBC's help, is that 55% of CIOs this year will make a decision about their SD-WAN strategy and their partner for SD-WAN. Meraki is already the SD-WAN leader in the industry, and their use case is primarily around a small SMB customer or a small branch of a big manufacturer, a gas station, a small retail store, somewhere where the customer is looking for simplicity. They maybe not have an IT staff, and so they really want to get the access point, get the technology, plug them in, and they're up and running, and it's so simple that they're able to manage it themselves. Primarily, maybe an office manager, not an IT manager. And so we've already got strength in Meraki, and so our use case now will continue to be that small branch, that small outlet, and simplicity. For SD-WAN and the classic Cisco, and we actually have all this laid out, and we can point you to the right place to kind of give you more data, is that we have made it very clear for our customers based upon their use case as to where to choose Meraki as our solution and where to choose Cisco. And so we have all those laid out, but the Cisco one is the Cisco solution for SD-WAN is typically for a larger enterprise, but more at a larger building, but it's more segmented, and that we've got some additional capabilities in there. But the important point for both the Meraki is security is embedded in there, because a lot of the SD-WAN solutions that have grown up more from the consumer world are not enterprise or business class grade for security. And so that's why we think it's at least $1 billion of opportunity for Cisco. It's a big, big opportunity. And so again, the timing is such where a lot of companies and customers and CEOs are making that choice this year, primarily just because their growth of their business, and they want to build security into their solution. So we think it's a big opportunity for us. Really excited. Did you all recognize John Boyega? And that's his name, Boyega, John Boyega. Did you recognize him? From Star Wars? Did you know he was English? You did? Just me. I should know, I am English. It was very cool. But that's why there's a big push for SD-WAN and security. Thank you.
Hi, Karen. Glad from Professor Brazil. I'd like to know how your team is working together with CX Group from Maria Martinez in order to transform Cisco customers into Cisco fans, helping them increase the subscription rates of partner solutions, and keeping them paying like recurring fees as natural as possible.
It's a great question, and so again, Cisco's been on this business model transformation over the last 3 years, and we are transforming our business from a pure hardware business to a hardware, software, services, and SaaS business. We will never not be a hardware company. There will always be technology and innovation at the hardware level, particularly in our ASICs and our chips. So, but there's a different motion. It's a different. We need to think about the different parts of the motion and go-to-market that we don't do today. So if I bring this back from marketing, what my team are very focused on is getting that customer, taking them all the way through their purchase journey, getting them to buy something. Go, yay, they bought something, go on to the next customer. What we now have to think about is that full customer life cycle. Is that we need to engage and market to a customer from the first time they become aware that you exist and that you have something that they actually could possibly want, through to, okay, they buy something, and then, okay, do they use it? I can buy something but just not use it. And then do I expand the adoption of that within my company? And then do I renew, do I buy from you again? Today, right now, marketing and in sales, we are very focused on getting the customer to the point of buying something. What Maria's organization are helping us do is 1T, is think about that customer after they bought something. What is the experience? And again, we're a big part of that because a lot of it's digital. What is the experience we're providing that customer post-sale, and how we continue to market to them so that they buy something from us again. And so it's a massive shift for us. But I think, as we publicly said, we have a big goal to shift our recurring revenue to, and I think on the earnings call, I think it was like 30%, we'll get the exact number for you, but we have a goal of getting close to 40%. And to really, and that's what the financial community expects us to do. Our stock is a little high or something, so that's something that's good because we're not starting from scratch every year trying to sell hardware, starting from zero. Good, great question. Thank you.
Hello, Alberto from IBC. Could you tell us about, on your keynote, that when you launch a product, you have to be prepared to launch in over 100 countries. No? So what's the main challenge to take this worldwide message and to personalize or tropicalize for Latam and Mexico? Can you share with us some?
Of course, I'm happy to. Because I don't like being called Mr. Karen Walker. Very nice. So what we used to do before we built our marketing technology stack is that, and I thank Adobe for help, and we've got lots of technology, and we're very happy to share with you what our technology stack looks like, and we do that with our partners as well, is that what would happen in the past is I would launch a campaign in the US, in US English, and I would give it to Japan, and I say translate it. I translate it into Japanese, and then 3 months later, execution. That used to be our model, and we shifted our marketing model to be country-centered, country relevant. Everything is digital and mobile, so we had to completely rewrite all of our content. Because we would write data sheets in PDFs. Sorry, Adobe, I can't search PDF documents, and they're not very easy to read on your phone. So we had to change everything. We had to change our technology. We had to change how we thought about content, how we wrote content, how we served that content up based upon what we knew about you. So I know as much about a customer, my customer, as a consumer company knows about you. I have all the same data. I know who you are. I know where you've been. I know what you've looked at. I know what your personal interests are. I know, and I follow all GDPR rules. Promise. Total GDPR compliant. But I know more about you, and so what I'm able to do is I'm able to personalize. I know where you are in your journey. You're thinking about security, you've looked at Palo Alto networks, you've done this, you've done that, you've reached out to IDC, so I know exactly where you are and what you're struggling with and what you're interested in. Is it pricing? Is it product feature? And then what I'm able to do real time with the technology is serve you up the right content, serve you up the right promotion. Okay, if you buy the next 10 minutes, I will give you 20% off. But just like in the consumer world, we're not there yet, but that's where we're headed, and we are going to behave like a consumer marketing organization. And so because that's what our customers are expecting, that's the experience that they're expecting. Right now, what I said on stage is the truth. Right now, in day one, I am able to be in 89 countries in 41 languages immediately. And so now when we launch campaign, our last campaign, the Network Intuitive, we started in New Zealand, and we followed the sun. And so it was more around the time, the impact. When people woke up, they saw our campaign, and so we followed the sun. And I'm a little bit biased. We are a US headquartered company, but we're not a US only company. And so we have to take a real global perspective and to really give all of our countries that advantage of being there in the market.
And if I can add to that, because what Karen was mentioning is, she also had that country-centric model. So 2.5 years ago, we made a good investment in talent in our region, Latin America. So we hire top talent in digital, we hire top talent in content, and the way that we content. So in this kind of campaigns, like Just Reached Possible campaign, we as a region in Latin America, we work with a global team. With Asia Pacific, we are with, of course, Americas, Latin America, and Canada. So we are one single goal, everyone just with one single target. The data is exactly the same for everyone, and we have the talent in the region to execute everything. So I think that whatever you're talking about, how can we just manage this kind of launch like Reach Possible, it's all about also having the talent in place in the regions, and we have it.
So the talent and the technology. One of the things that we invested in was, as part of our technology stack, was a content library. Because if someone was creating content in Portugal, you know what? It actually could work pretty well in Brazil. You know, maybe. And because they had nowhere to look and curate and find content, is they assumed it didn't exist, so they created it again. So that's why I need the speed, I need that. So the technology and the talent were able to help us, you know, accelerate and to become much more real time. Thank you. Hi there. So, and in Pablo.
Hello, Gerardo Peña from Latam. In your conference, you talk about the bridge to possible, and also talk about the gap of talent. What are you doing different in Latin America to other regions to accelerate this bridge?
So what I would love to do is that, and actually it was very, very easy for me on the main stage, is to find customer and partner stories that are relevant, that are happening in this region, in Brazil, in Mexico, Uruguay. They were all, and I have stories in the Polska campaign today. So what Lusma said is correct, is that where I mentioned in our last campaign we started in New Zealand, is that we have now the talent in the country to create campaigns, to write the stories in not just local language, but what's relevant in that country. And that's something that's very different as well. They're not all stories about US companies and it's solutions that we brought to market in the US. It really is what's relevant and impactful in your geography and your region is what we're trying to do.
Well, you talk about this change in the business model. I think if we need to just say one thing around that, is all about DevNet. On the partners of DevNet grow 10% more than the others that you said at Partner Summit. But in terms of the marketing, I just see that almost no one knows nothing about DevNet. And DevNet is a major point for Cisco for the future of software development. And I know if you are trying to figure out the new strategy around DevNet, and you can make some new ideas like crowd marketing or whatever.
I think that's very fair feedback. I think that's very fair. What we have done, and again, it's the DevNet audience, the developers are a very, very specific audience. And so we have to reach and connect with them in a very different way. What we started with, and you saw it at Partner Summit, but we started it at Cisco Live many years ago, where we actually had the DevNet zone. We started small. And Susie Wee, I don't know if you know Susie, but she is, she's an incredible leader behind our development program. And we have grown it and grown it and grown it. And what we found is that and you see other big consumer companies do this, and they have their own developer conference. And so what we have chosen to do is engage and market to them through Cisco Live primarily, and that's been our strategy to date. But I think it's very fair feedback, because now that we've incubated the program, and now we're at a point where we've got some critical mass. I think there is, do you know how many developers we have? Is it 500,000? I thought I was going to say 530,000 developers. I mean, that's
yes, but I think there's two problems around that. One of them is that actually, like this leitmotif of imagine, no? The partners that they are involved on DevNet, they can imagine to do more. They just do almost anything around that, what the platform could give to you. And the developers' work is about millions of millions of millions. So probably no one actually knows that DevNet exists.
No, I think you're right. I think that, and you said it at the beginning, is that those partners who have embraced development themselves and developed their own applications and embraced that have grown and been more profitable than their other partners. So completely agree. That's proven. We know that. And I think your point is well taken, that we have to grow and to improve in terms of how we market to the developer community. Our strategy to date has been doing it through conferences, like many of the other consumer companies do, but we haven't had a separate developer conference. We do it as part of Cisco Live and Partner Summit. And so I think there is still more work to do.
Thank you.
There's room for one more person. I knew what that meant. Hi. Hello there.
Gina Sanchez from Corresponsal in Colombia. You were mentioning in your keynote that you are working on some initiatives kind of to help democratize the cloud, to help companies to make it easier to move applications and workloads from the data centers to the cloud. And you mentioned two partnerships with AWS and Google Cloud. I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about these initiatives, these partnerships, and maybe other that can be of interest.
Yeah, we would be very happy to. That's a very, it's a very important and it's a very big topic. We have, and actually, can I add to that? We'd like to share with you a partnership with what we're doing with Apple, because what we are doing is that we are with Google Cloud and AWS. They are really and we are working. It's not just a go-to-market partnership. We've got engineers working together to really make sure that in a secure way that you can move an application or a workload from your own data center to a public cloud domain, and also move it back. And so that, and we also have the technology that sits above that allows you to manage how you want that to happen and when you want that to happen. And so we have done that both with Google Cloud. That was our first announcement. And then we just made the major announcement at Partner Summit about we're doing the same thing with AWS to be able to do that. So again, we recognize that a customer, 82% of them, if you saw the stat, actually live in a multi-cloud world, and we don't believe that's going to change. And so, you know, whether it's a private cloud, hybrid, a public cloud, our CIOs want to have that flexibility to move things around as they will. And it's kind of ironic because what we're finding from our customers is a couple of things. They actually don't want to be tied to one cloud company. Right? They want to be able to kind of choose kind of when to use what type of cloud. And so what Cisco has done is actually provide that next level up of management and automation and security software to allow us to be able to do that. So we were just really leaning in and listening to what our customers were saying, and that's what they wanted. They wanted that flexibility. And also we're working with both Amazon and Google in terms of their technology architecture, because they know they need to live in a multi-cloud, multi-domain world. And so we are really sharing very closely what our technology roadmaps are with them so that we build a technology architecture that allows us to deliver on this multi-domain, multi-cloud cloud architecture that I talked about today. It's fantastic. I think we're really worthy of a good follow-up. And then we're doing the same with Apple, is that, you know, in Apple, I don't know about you, but I have my iPhone, my iPad, my iMac, I'm an Apple, even though I used to work for HP. So I'm an Apple fan, and what we're doing with Apple is they want to grow more in the business customer and the enterprise space. We're working with them very closely, again, at the engineer level, so their iOS and their technology works really well with our network and our security, and it provides them, you know, the experience that they're looking for. Because I don't know about you, but I expect the same experience that I have at home on my Apple products, and then I have in the office. But I promise I don't listen to music or watch cat videos in the office. Not all the time. But we'll follow up with you with just more detail on this partnership.
I'm Flávio Xandó from Brazil. It's not really a question, more a comment. But I like so much the slogan "Building Bridges," because I just realized that it's exactly what Cisco is doing for many years. For instance, you can think about connecting private cloud with public cloud. You can think about SD-WAN because you connect the local network with the wide area network. Maybe you may elaborate many other examples like that, but it's a very good slogan, but it's not just a slogan, it's real.
It's real. Thank you. And it was, I don't know whether it was just very good fortune or our founders were brilliant. But I meant what I said is an incredible metaphor in society, in business, that, you know, when you're the most successful is when you build bridges. And it takes multiple people in multiple places with multiple ideas. So the feedback actually we got from analysts and business press before we launched the campaign, their biggest advice for us was don't get bored with Bridge to Possible. Because we get bored with things little quickly. And so they said, don't get bored. This is a campaign that will last 5 years. And I tell you, it's we released the campaign to our employees first. And these guys can tell you, it was amazing. And we had people just crying. We had a lot of people crying. And including our CEO, but don't say that. But there was just this emotional connection back, and it was back to our heritage and our roots. And a lot of our employees didn't even know that the logo was put in. And when we told the story, and then we gave the examples of the customer story, was the social responsibility story. We literally had people sitting there, and we were having to hand out tissues because they were crying. 98% of our employees afterwards said this was the best campaign they've ever seen in the history of the company. And they felt that the campaign reflected who we were as a company and our direction for the future. So it was, I just hats off to my team, because I think we found something that's really special.
I did not mention it, but the Cisco Academy is another environment.
Yes. Yeah. You know, the feedback that we had a very nice article written about us where we were talking about this, is that we've been doing the Network Academies for 20 years. You saw the numbers, the millions, 9.2 million graduates, and that we're developing countries from communities that are underserved. We're actually now in the US going into the prisons and really reskilling and retooling people with new skills and talent. We have just done it in a very humble way, and we haven't talked about it. And so it's easy to talk about because I'm not making it up. That's the best thing when you're a CMO, you don't have to make up the story. It's actually real, and you've got customers, you've got employees, and you've got people like Ashley. I wish we could have had her here. People like Ashley, people like community, and they will tell you the story of how it has changed not their life but their family's life. I guarantee you, you will be crying.
Good, thank you.
That's my heart. Thank you. Thank you for your feedback.
Thank you very much. Muchas gracias. Thank you, Carmen.
Thank you so much for coming into the evening. And I really, really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Really do.